Be honest. When was the last time you actually loved your hair? Not tolerated it, not settled for it, actually loved it? If you've been saying, just give me something easy in that chair, you've been walking out with the granny cut, the one that flattens your cheekbones, drags your whole face down, and ages you faster than time itself. Today, I am walking you through 5 haircuts that reverse all of that. And cut number 4 is the one you'll want to screenshot, because it fixes forehead lines and a thinning hairline without a single extra product. If you're ready to stop settling, hit subscribe right now, because this channel is where you'll find every cut, every trick, and every secret to look and feel radiant after 50. Let's start with haircut number 1. The first haircut making women over 60 look effortlessly expensive is the architectural bob. And if I could hand every woman on this channel one single gift, it would be this cut, because it works like a non-surgical scaffold for your entire face. Here's what you need to understand about why the traditional rounded bob has been quietly aging you. A soft, rounded bob that hits at the widest part of your jaw creates a bell shape, and a bell shape pulls the eye straight down, dragging your whole face with it. The architectural bob flips that completely. It falls just at or slightly below your jawline with a crisp, blunt perimeter that acts like a visual shelf, lifting the eye instead of pulling it, and tricking the room into seeing a tighter, more defined jawline than you thought you still had. But here's the part your stylist probably never told you, and it's the exact phrase you need to bring with you. The real transformation happens on the inside of the cut. You want the weight removed internally, thinned from within, while the outer edge stays thick, sharp, and blunt. Say those words exactly. Blunt perimeter with internal texture. And watch your stylist's whole approach shift. That internal texture is what keeps this cut from sitting flat and heavy, the way hair naturally does as it thins with age, giving you lift, movement, and that floating quality that makes people stop and ask what you're doing differently. We built this list because every woman deserves a cut that photographs like it costs $300 and takes 6 minutes to style. And this is it. A flat iron for 60 seconds, a slight turn under at the ends, and you're done. Tuck one side behind your ear and you've opened your whole face, framed a cheekbone, and given your favorite earring somewhere to shine. This is the cut women wear into rooms, and suddenly people aren't clocking your age anymore. They're clocking your presence. And if your hair has been thinning and losing that fullness you used to take for granted, the next cut on this list was built exactly for you. The second haircut making women over 60 look bolder, sharper, and impossible to ignore is the textured Pixie. And there's a reason the women who wear it well always seem more alive than everyone else in the room. They're not trying harder. They're simply wearing the one cut most stylists have been executing completely wrong. I need you to understand the science behind why it works so powerfully after 60, because this is the part nobody explains to you before you sit in the chair. After menopause, your hair follicles miniaturize, meaning every strand grows back finer than the one before it, and that cumulative loss of density means longer styles eventually hit a tipping point where your hair has just enough weight to collapse flat against your scalp, no matter how much product you use. The textured Pixie erases that tipping point entirely. When your stylist cuts the crown at a full 90-degree elevation, holding each section straight up before cutting, the layers spring upward instead of lying down. And that lift isn't a styling trick. It's built directly into the architecture of the cut itself. Your eyes open because the vertical line at the crown pulls the viewer's gaze upward. Your cheekbones emerge because the graduation at your temples removes the exact weight that was rounding and softening your face. Here's the line that separates a flattering Pixie from one that ages you further. And it's the one you need to say out loud in that chair. Piecey texture at the crown, clean graduation at the nape, soft movement, not a helmet. We built this cut for the woman who refuses to let thinning hair dictate how alive she looks. Because this technique gives you back density you thought you'd lost, purely through the geometry of the cut. Styling takes less than 60 seconds, a lightweight, root-lifting spray on damp hair, a quick diffuse, and you're walking out the door looking deliberate, not tired. This is the cut that makes people do a double take without knowing exactly why. Boldness without spending an hour in front of a mirror every morning. And if you're not ready to go this short, but you still want that same lifted, expensive-looking effect with room to play with length and versatility, the next cut on this list was built exactly for you. The third haircut making women over 60 look effortlessly versatile and years younger is the modern layered bob. And if you've ever walked out of a salon, looked in the mirror and thought, "It's fine, but it's not me," I can almost guarantee it was a bob, just not this one. The version most women over 60 get handed, without question, is a rigid, helmet-shaped bob with a uniform perimeter and almost no internal structure. Essentially a blunt line with a slight bend at the ends, and that heaviness sits right along your jaw and lower face, exactly where you want less attention, not more. The modern layered bob is built entirely differently, and I want you to understand this because it's one of the most requested secrets in professional styling circles right now. Instead of cutting only the visible outline of the hair, a skilled stylist removes weight from within the body of the hair itself, taking sections and cutting them at elevation so shorter pieces underneath push the outer layer upward. The result on your scalp is genuine fullness, and the result in the mirror is hair that reads as twice as dense as it actually is. For fine or thinning hair, one of the most common frustrations after 60, this internal layering technique is the single most effective tool your stylist has, and most women sitting in that chair have never once been offered it. Length matters here too, and it's more specific than most stylists bother to explain. A bob ending right at your jaw sharpens your cheekbones and jawline, stunning on oval or heart-shaped faces, while a lob falling to your collarbone creates a longer vertical line that's especially flattering if your face has softened or rounded with time. We built this cut for the woman who wants versatility just as much as elegance. Hair she can wear down for a night out, tuck behind her ears for the office, or pull back and still look intentional. Say this exact phrase to your stylist: internal layering, not just perimeter cutting. And you'll separate yourself instantly from every other client in that chair. And if you've been hiding forehead lines or a thinning hairline under heavier bangs that aren't doing you any favors, the next cut on this list is the exact fix you've been searching for. The fourth haircut making women over 60 look instantly softer, brighter, and years lighter is the soft fringe. And I want you to really sit with this one because it solves a problem most women think has no solution. After 60, the areas we start noticing most in the mirror are the forehead, the fine lines settling in, the furrows between the brows, and a hairline that's begun thinning at the front. And so many women try covering it with heavier foundation, which only settles into those creases and makes them more visible instead of less. The soft fringe takes a completely different approach. It provides a physical veil, a whisper of hair that softens the entire upper third of your face without hiding you. It frames you instead. Here's the critical technique your stylist needs to hear from you directly. You want what's called a bottleneck fringe, shorter at the center, just skimming your eyebrows and curving gradually longer toward the temples until it blends seamlessly into your side layers. The effect is stunning. It creates a sharp horizontal line at the brow that frames your eyes like a spotlight, and suddenly people aren't looking at your forehead anymore. They're looking straight into your eyes, and that single shift changes everything about how your whole face reads. I need you to know the mistake most stylists make with fringes on women over 60. They cut it too wide and too thick, pulling hair from halfway back on the head. So here's your rule. Place 2 fingers at your front hairline. Your fringe should never start further back than those 2 fingers. Anything more creates a flat, heavy shelf effect. Say it with confidence. Whisper bangs, not wall bangs. Write that down and bring it with you. We built this cut for the woman who wants that softened, radiant effect without adding a single extra minute to her morning. Because you only have to style the fringe. The rest of your hair can go into a ponytail, a clip, a low bun, and a well-styled soft fringe makes it look like you spent an hour on your hair when you spent 3 minutes. That's the kind of shortcut worth taking every single day. And if you're the woman who still reaches for a leather jacket and has zero intention of fading into the background? The final cut on this list is made just for you. The fifth and final haircut on this list, the one making women over 60 look bold, current, and completely unforgettable, is the asymmetrical graduated bob. And I saved it for last, because it isn't for every woman, it's for a very specific one. If you're the woman who still reaches for a leather jacket, who loves a bold lip, who has absolutely no intention of fading into the background just because a number went up on a calendar, this is your signature. Here's the science behind why it works so beautifully after 60. As we age, our faces naturally become a little less symmetrical, and a perfectly even blunt haircut actually highlights those tiny imbalances instead of hiding them. Asymmetry in the cut is the artistic solution. By having one side fall slightly longer than the other, you create a diagonal visual line that keeps the eye moving across your face instead of settling on any one feature. A technique borrowed straight from architecture and high fashion. And it creates a sense of modernity and motion that reads as effortlessly cool. The graduated element means the back is stacked slightly shorter, clearing the nape of your neck for a long, elegant line, while the longer pieces in front hug your jaw and provide a sharp, defined edge, exactly where so many women feel they've lost definition. And here's something worth knowing. This cut looks extraordinary on silver and salt and pepper hair, because the varied lengths show off every natural highlight and lowlight already living in your hair. The dimension is already there. This cut simply lets it perform. We built this into the final spot on this list because it's the ultimate power move. Tuck the shorter side behind your ear, one cheekbone revealed, one earring on full display, and let the longer side fall like a soft curtain on the other. Because asymmetry creates intrigue, and intrigue is irresistible. Say this to your stylist with full confidence. I want asymmetry, not a perfectly even line, and watch how differently they approach your cut. This is the haircut for the woman who's done asking permission to look striking. The one who knows exactly who she is and wants her hair to say it before she even speaks. And now that you've seen all 5, I'm about to give you the exact 3 phrases that will protect you from ever walking out with a granny cut again. Before you go, here are the 3 phrases that protect you forever. Say, I want upward energy, not roundness, so your stylist knows you understand shape and won't accept the helmet. Say, please point cut or slice cut, no blunt straight across chops, so you walk out with texture and movement instead of stiff, dated lines. And always say, show me the back before you finish. Because most women never see the back of their own hair until they're already home. And by then, it's too late. Write those down, screenshot this, bring them into your next appointment, and watch how differently you're treated in that chair. But I want you to really hear this part. This was never just about haircuts. It was about that quiet moment when you said, just give me something easy. Because somewhere along the way, you started believing easy was all you deserved. That the bold cuts, the statement styles, the haircuts that make a woman feel electric, those were for someone younger. They're not. They're for you, right now, exactly as you are. We are not aging out of style, we are aging into it. And the right cut doesn't turn back the clock. It announces to the world that you are not done yet, not even close. If this helped you see yourself a little differently today, send it to one woman in your life who's still hiding behind a tired cut. She needs this. Subscribe, hit that bell, and tell me in the comments which of these 5 you're booking first. I read every single one. I'll see you in the next video. Stay radiant.